Just to show the lack of interest in the city.
Seven 7:30, we'll call this regular city council meeting of May 2nd, 2016 order. We do have a quorum. Let's please stand and pledge to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All individuals are asked to either silence or turn off cell phones, pages, or other electronic devices that may disrupt the meeting. Approve the agenda. Approve the agenda as posted in accordance with the open meeting law, and here and place all agenda items on the table for discussion. Wish of the council.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second. We have a motion by Councilman Knopfler, second by Councilman Lortgren to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approval of the minutes, a copy of the minutes for the special work session meeting of April 18, 2016, and the regular city council meeting April 18, 2016 are enclosed. What's the wish of the council on the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Have a second?
Second.
I got a motion by Alderman Hercock, second by Mayor Zilka to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approval of the bills, approved checks 93,952 through 94,037, totaling $253,701.06. Mr. Gushik?
Turn to page, it'll be page 6 for the computer. Page 7. Page 8.
Sorry, can I ask a question on page 7, addressing? Get at the right line.
Oh, addressing? Yes.
Yeah, those are the 911 signs outside the original city limits, the blue ones that you see.
Sorry, I switched 2 lines wrong with cost anyway. Never mind, thank you though.
Anyone else? Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Golf course going well?
Golf course is going well. Spoke to Rich today, and it's been very busy the last few weeks. The month of April was a really good month too.
I had another lady stop in today and say how great she thought it was going. She knows the 6 people that got memberships that had left the city course, and also she said we need to have more of those tournaments that go outside of the falls. They have them from entities that are within the city. So nothing but good news on it so far from the library.
I've heard a couple of people saying they're going to buy memberships who haven't in a while, so that's good news.
Yep.
Page 11 is all the totals. I make a motion to approve the bills for $253,701.06.
Second.
I got a motion by Councilman Gushik, second by Alderman Hercock to approve the bills. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Nothing under awards, donations tonight. Consent agenda. Board of Review minutes, April 2016 received. Grant submittal, community partnership grant, or Centerpoint Energy and Rural Fire Development, or Department, Volunteer Fire Association matching grants, fire equipment authorized. Morrison County Annual Humane Society received financial statement December 2015. Received police department report March 2016 received. Premises permit application Flyer Athletic Boosters, the Dam Bar approved. Temporary roadway closing permit Live Better Live Longer June 18th 2016 approved. So wish of the council on the consent.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Councilman Bushwick, second by Councilman Knopfler to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Preventive maintenance, Partner Asphalt Sealers LLC, slurry seal. Greg?
On April 26th, we opened bids for our preventative maintenance slurry seal. We received 2 bids for the project, and the low bid is from Partner Asphalt Sealers out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, in the amount of $178,468.36. Every year we budget about $300,000 to do our preventative maintenance, which includes the fog seal and the slurry seal. We budgeted right around $100,000 for our fog seal, and so $200 of that would go towards the slurry seal portion. So we're right in budget in terms of where we want to be. And tonight we are asking the council to award the project to Partner Asphalt Sealers out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, in the amount of $178,468.36 to be charged to the street improvement fund.
What's the wish of the council?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Councilman Bushwick for approval. Any discussion?
How many miles of roads does this cover? Approximately, do you have any idea? Or?
I didn't measure it. It's probably about 3 or 4 miles worth, if I had to guess.
Since this is lower than we thought, and the fog ceiling was lower than we thought, is there any chance of doing any more up to our budgeted amount?
I'd like to leave a little bit of room there just for contingency. The amount that's left is about $60,000, so I mean we could potentially add a little bit, but there's not a whole lot left that we want to add just because the contingency, the what ifs in there. But we could potentially look at adding some streets if we get a little bit farther along the project, then we would definitely see that there's excess funds in there.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Grinder replacement, wastewater treatment facility.
Here at the wastewater treatment plant, we have what's called a grinder pump. The RDP process, which takes care of the solids that end up at the waste plant, basically chews it up so that it can be pasteurized, heated, and getting rid of all the pathogens. Over the years, because of everything that runs through it, the teeth on the grinder pump, they basically mesh together kind of as a gear. But because of the stuff that goes through it, those teeth have started to wear down and cause problems in terms of binding it and not necessarily doing the job that it should be doing. It was originally installed in 2002. We received 3 quotes to either repair or replace the grinder pump. The one that we're recommending tonight is from W.W. Getch out of Baxter, Minnesota, in the amount of $22,840. You'll also notice that there's another one in there to rebuild the existing grinder pump. That's at $13,359. The reason we're not recommending that tonight, because we use that grinder pump anywhere between 3 and 4 days a week, and it's unknown how long it's going to take to rebuild the one that we have, because they don't manufacture parts for it anymore. It's not being manufactured. So Every part that they would have to make is special ordered, it would be custom made for it, and it's hard to know how long that would be out of service, and we can't allow the plant not to run, more than 7 weeks. We got a 1 week window where it's got to be out and put back into place. So that's why we're recommending a new one being replaced. And from WWGS, that is the lowest price that we were able to get at $22,840.
What's the wish of the council?
I'll make a motion to approve WWF.
Second. We got a motion by Councilman Gushek, second by Councilman Boyan to authorize the new replacement. Any further discussion?
Greg, is there any sense, we talked about it some, to getting the old one rebuilt then, in case something would happen and we'd have that replacement?
We plan to hang on to it, not necessarily rebuild it just yet, but depending on what our facility plan shows, then we may be able to rebuild it and potentially use it as a backup. So in the event it ever goes down again, we can swap it out, have that one rebuilt. But right now we don't have a replacement to put in there. That's why we're looking at getting a new one as opposed to rebuilding one.
Thank you.
So it all depends what we end up doing with the plant.
That's correct.
When reports come back at there, we're going to stay with the same style plant or what?
Yes.
It says here there's 140 pumps and motors. If we had a backup for every single one of them, first you need a little
A shed to hold them all in.
hold them. And the second thing is that'd be very expensive.
And most of the pumps at the waste plant have redundancy. So if one goes down, the other one can pump. This one, it doesn't have a redundancy. It feeds the RDP process, and for whatever reason, this one just does not have a redundancy in it.
So to get a new one, how long does it take?
6 to 8 weeks.
So if the new one would perchance go down, what would we do?
Well, the new one better not go down because it's brand new and it's got a warranty on it. We'd be talking to the manufacturer at that point if it went down.
The new one would have parts available though.
True.
We would hope.
And built for it.
I do obsolete. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Water treatment facility improvements, Eagle Construction. Greg?
We opened for bids on that last Tuesday. That's for the 26th water treatment facility improvements. If you remember, that's the basically replacing the media in that section. We did ask David Drum to take a look at it in terms of what is better for the city in terms of financially, whether it's PFA or selling the bonds ourselves. It does look like PFA is the route to go. So tonight, rather than awarding the project, what I'd like to do is, you'll see later on in the agenda, there's a resolution to apply to the PFA for a loan. We'd like to get on the PPL and make sure that we're in the fundable range with that before we award the project, because there's about $100,000 difference in terms of whether or not we can, if we get the PFA funds. So tonight I'd like you to table this until your next meeting. At that point we'll know if we're in the fundable range for the PFA, and then we'll be able to decide which route is most beneficial to the city financially.
Do you have a motion to table?
Yes. Until our next meeting.
Yep.
Second?
Second.
A motion by Alderman Herbeck, second by Mayor Zilka. Table till next meeting. Don't need to vote then. Good. Motion in a second, correct? New business, Little Falls Fire Department Relief Association Actuary Agreement. John?
Yeah, as we talked about this in the work session prior, the new accounting standards that governments have to face in terms of public pensions, we're required to have an actuarial completed for our Fire Relief Association's pension in order to also qualify for PFA financing so that we can have a clean audit. So based on the recommendations of our auditors, we made an inquiry to 2 firms for their services. The one that came back with the lower option at the recommended firms was Hildy Incorporated. And what they'll do is that they'll have a 4-year contract. In the first year and the third year, they'll actually do the full-fledged actuarial. And during those years, the cost for that will be $2,200. In years 2 and 4, they'll do a review period, and that'll be $1,000. And as this was presented to the Fire Relief Association for their agreement to utilize the services of Hildy Incorporated, and they're offering to fund the off years for the $1,000 price. So the city would pay for the actuarials during the full years in the $2,200, and the Fire Relief Association would pay for the years during the $1,000 periods. That was their recommendation that they offered. So.
What's the wish of the council?
I make a motion to approve.
Second. Got a motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Councilman Lundgren for approval. Any discussion?
I'm gonna vote against taking $1,000. I don't have to run through everything we covered in the special meeting, so I'm just telling you.
Any other discussion?
I just say I understand Frank's point, where he's coming from.
Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. Planning Commission recommendation, conditional use permit, SSC for Verizon Wireless, accept.
On April 11th, we had a planning commission meeting. We had 2 public hearings that night. The first one, which is in your packet, the item that we're discussing now, was from SSC, which is the agent for Verizon Wireless. They're looking at adding 2 mini cell towers, if you will, over at the high school. As you can imagine, when there's events going on at the high school, there's a lot of people using their phone, and there's a lot of data that's being used. And so these mini cells, they allow for a higher increased coverage at those events. They would be installed on light poles. They'd be replacing them with the same height light pole that's currently there, one on each side of the high school. And then we'd have these small boxes that would be used for transmitting the data. The Planning Commission is recommending that we approve the request for the conditional use permit as presented at the Planning Commission meeting.
What's the wish of the council?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Bushwick, second by Mayor Zilka for approval. Discussion? I said these have a range of like 500 feet, so this ain't gonna really interfere all through town, or basically for the usage at the high school. The exchange ran. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Planning Commission recommendation, ordinance number 86 series, amend City Chapter Code 11, Section 1105.
The second public hearing that we held that night was for amendment to the City Code, Sections 1105, and there's a number of different sections in through there. After discussions internally, we'd like to table this until our next meeting. We'd like to discuss this a little bit more in depth with the Planning Commission, just to make sure that we get the right language in there so that we're covered from the city standpoint before we approve it. So tonight, we request that the council table this one again to the May 16th meeting as well.
Do you have a motion?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Got a motion by Alderman Hertog, second by Councilman Knopfler. Table. Till next meeting. Resolution 2016-28, declare surplus and authorize sale thereof. Lori?
You have before you tonight a resolution that would declare certain properties within the city as surplus, most of them being vehicles, and then a couple of odd saws, chairs, that type of stuff. The money would be deposited into the equipment fund unless otherwise. One is the fire, 2 are the golf, and 1 would be police forfeiture. And then the donated bicycles to the school district.
So we're just donating the bicycles to the school?
We've done that in the past. The bikes are, and I think Greg knows, they're found bikes that,
Right.
that the police have found that nobody has claimed. A lot of them aren't in very good condition, and the school district took the bikes, refurbished them, fixed them up, and I believe gave them away to underprivileged kids, if I remember correctly.
So we're not selling and giving the money, we're just giving the bikes to
And they'll
dispose
fix
of.
them up and then they'll,
Yeah, okay. What's the wish of the council on resolution 2016-28?
Make a motion to pass 2016-28.
I'll second. Got a motion by Alderman Hurkak, second by Councilman Lotgren for approval of resolution 2016-28. Any further discussion? So the sale of these is going to be,
we'll advertise them. I'm not sure, because of some of the vehicles, if we're going to, just do an ad in the paper that we have them for sale, or if we'll do like a surplus auction type of thing, or I'm not exactly sure how we're gonna best do that, but we'll figure it out.
resolution, call a roll.
Boyan,
Yes.
Hurkak,
Yes?
Liljegren,
Yes.
Zilka,
Yes.
Hansler,
Yes.
Hanson, Bushek,
Yes.
Knopfler,
Yes.
carried.
I almost said yes to Hanson.
Resolution 2016-29, approved plans and specs, public improvement 374.
If you recall, at your April 18th meeting, we had a public hearing for the Third Avenue portion of the project. That was approved for preparing the plans and specs. I do have the plans in front of me here, the specs I've got back at my office. Tonight, we'd be asking the council to approve the plans and specs for the project and move forward with obtaining pricing for that. And you'll see later on that we do have pricing for the project as well. So tonight, on this item, we've asked the council to approve the plans and specs for Third Avenue in public improvement number 374.
What's the wish of the council on 2016-29?
I make a motion to approve resolution 2016-29.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
A motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Councilman Bishop. Any discussion? Hearing none, resolution, call a roll.
Hurkak,
Yes?
Liljegren,
Yes.
Zilka,
Yes.
Hansler,
Yes.
Bushek,
Yes.
Knopfler,
Yes.
Boyan,
Yes.
carried.
Change order number 1, Tri-City Paving, public improvement 374.
This is pertaining, like you indicated, to public improvement number 374. We checked with the contractor that was doing the remainder of the project if they would honor their bid prices to do the Third Avenue component of it. They did indicate that they would honor their bid prices. So tonight, we're asking the council to approve change order number 1, which is the Third Avenue portion of the project, in the amount of $91,709.75 to be charged to the project, and award that to Tri-City Paving.
Any discussion? Actually, do you have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Lotgren, second by Alderman Hurkak. Change order number 1. Discussion? Hearing none?
What is the primary reason for the request?
For the change order or the project? The request is to move forward with change order number 1. There's 2 ways that you can bid out a project. We bid the overall 374 project it was in February, March timeframe. Tri-City Paving was the low contractor on that project. The city awarded it to them. Now we're looking at adding additional work, which is the Third Avenue component of it, which is in close proximity to the other project. Because we bid the project already once, we already have bid prices for the unit prices for the work, and so tonight we're looking at adding work to that project because we've already bid it out once. We know that those are the lowest prices that we're going to be able to see.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 2016-30, authorize submittal of loan, Minnesota Public Facilities Authority, wastewater, or water treatment facility.
I mentioned this a little earlier in the agenda here. This is the resolution to apply to PFA for loans for the water treatment plant project, for the water treatment plant project. We did speak with David Drown in regards to the best route to fund the project. PFA loan appears to be the best financial route to go. Right now, there's a couple of steps that we have to take. We have to get on the PPL, which basically ranks the project in terms of need. If we're in the fundable range, well, then we'll get loan funds and then potentially grant funds. Not too optimistic we'll get grants, but I believe we'll get the loan funds. And so tonight we want to make sure we get on that list before we award the project to take advantage of the low interest loans that PFA has out there.
So wish of the council on resolution 2016-30.
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Knaufel, second by Alderman Hercog. For approval, any discussion?
How long does that process take to get approved?
Not that long. We'll know pretty quick. And with approval of this, we will send letters to both the PFA representatives, letting them know of the application so that we get included on there and get our project started.
Yeah, I do want to comment that in the work session I talked about PFA financing and the grant dollars in my previous community that were on the list for 3 years. Getting on the list is the easy part. This is just, you know, the formal application to do so and making sure that we follow the procedures. It's getting to the point where you get high enough on the list and you're eligible for grant dollars that it can take some time.
I just didn't know if it took months and months for them to process you and get you on the list.
No. There's many projects that are on the list, and they're on the list for as long as they continue to say they want to stay on the list. Right. Not everybody's, gets on the list and gets the project done within a year. Many just get on the list because they know it's something that they're going to have to do in time, and then they either are waiting for those need factors to change or other financing sources that can come and help them get the project done. So
we'll know by our next meeting if we're in the fundable range.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, the resolution, call the roll, please.
Wildegren,
Yes.
Zilka,
Yes.
Antler,
Yes.
Gushik,
Yes.
Knopfler,
Yes.
Boyan,
yes.
Hercog,
Yes.
carries.
Monument placement, Gamrot Park, live better, live longer. Sir, Greg?
Yeah, tonight I'd like to get the council's approval to go ahead and authorize Live Better, Live Longer to place a monument at Gamrot Park, specifically over by the community gardens. Live Better, Live Longer, as well as a number of community partners, have been instrumental in putting that garden together, and they'd just like to donate a granite monument that basically illustrates the partners that have put forth the effort to make the garden what it is currently today. So we will be getting a donation form from them, but I wanted to at least let the council know this is what the plan is, and to make sure that the council is on board with it and we would accept that grant monument at that time.
Wish of the council.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Mayor Zuka, second by Alderman Hercog for approval. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anyone got any reports?
Mr. President, I would just say that the day of hearing is coming up Wednesday, I believe it is, 5th or 6th one, I'm not. Sixth, yeah. 6th annual. I'll be up there taking part again. We have a little rah-rah session right away in the morning for the students. It's an unbelievable project, getting those kids out of school and all the good they're doing within the community. So I just want to, there'll be over 1,000 volunteers running around, and they'll be at 150 or more, 170 it's up to. Wow. Up to 170 homes, parks, whatever. So I think it's a great asset to cleaning up our community and helping a lot of people that would struggle with getting that work done on their own. So kudos to the high school students in Little Falls and all the volunteers.
I think the students enjoy doing it as much as the people are doing it for. They're both, last year I talked to some of them and they're just happy that talked to a girl that she was doing it, this neighbor just north of me, and she enjoyed doing it, and the lady came out and she was really happy that they were doing it. So I think it's a great deal.
I think Mr. Bjorky said it's the lowest day of absenteeism they have for the year, because they get out of school. And the kids enjoy doing that.
Any other announcements? Hearing none, we will adjourn.